From the side of the stage, an elderly man slowly walked forward. His back was slightly bent, his steps careful and measured. He wore a simple, worn-out jacket, shoes polished but old, and his hands trembled just a little. The host introduced him as a poor Filipino veteran. A hush fell over the crowd. Veterans are respected deeply in the Philippines, but seeing one on a global talent stage was something rare and powerful. He stopped at the center, bowed politely to the judges, and smiled softly. His smile wasn't confident or flashy. It was gentle, almost shy, the kind of smile shaped by decades of hardship and quiet endurance. When asked his name and background, his voice was calm but carried weight. He explained that he had served his country many years ago, sacrificing his youth for duty. After his service ended, life did not become easier. Jobs were scarce, money was tighter than ever, and music became his only comfort. He spoke about how he found an old piano in a community hall, dusty and broken, missing keys and out of tune. While others saw junk, he saw hope. Every day, he would walk long distances just to sit in front of that piano, fixing it slowly, cleaning it gently, and playing it late into the night. Music, he said, helped him survive loneliness, poverty, and memories of war that never truly left his mind. The judges listened carefully. Some leaned forward, others nodded quietly. Then he mentioned why he came to the show. He didn't want fame. He didn't want money for himself. He wanted to prove that even someone forgotten by society could still create beauty. And if he won, he said, he would use the prize to help other veterans who were struggling like him. There was silence after he finished speaking. The kind of silence that feels heavy, meaningful. Then he turned toward the piano placed center stage. It was a grand piano, shining under the lights, far more beautiful than the broken one he practiced on. He paused for a moment, placing his hand over his heart, then gently sat down. His fingers hovered over the keys, shaking slightly. The first note rang out, soft and hesitant, but clear. Then another. Slowly, a melody began to form. It was simple at first, almost fragile, like a memory trying to resurface. The audience leaned in, listening closely. The judges exchanged glances. As the music continued, it grew richer, deeper, filled with emotion. Each note carried a story. You could feel pain, loss, hope, and resilience woven together in harmony. It wasn't just a performance. It was a confession without words. The camera cut to the judges' table. One judge closed her eyes, breathing deeply. Another wiped away a tear. And then the camera focused on Simon Cowell. Known for his tough critiques and brutally honest reactions, Simon sat completely still. His usual sharp expression was gone. His eyes glistened. His lips pressed together as if he was trying to hold back emotion. The veteran's hands moved with confidence now, dancing across the keys. The melody swelled, filling the theater. It felt like the sound of a life lived through struggle but never broken. Some audience members began to cry openly. Others held their breath, afraid that even breathing might interrupt the magic of the moment. Halfway through the piece, the music softened again. It became almost like a lullaby, gentle and warm. The veteran's shoulders relaxed, his face peaceful. It was as if, for those few minutes, he was no longer poor, no longer burdened by the past. He was free. As the final notes echoed through the hall, there was a brief moment of stunned silence. Then the entire audience rose to their feet in a massive standing ovation. Applause thundered through the theater. People screamed, clapped, and cried all at once. The veteran slowly stood up, clearly overwhelmed. He bowed again and again, tears now streaming down his face. The judges stood as well, applauding him with genuine respect. Simon leaned forward, visibly emotional. When it was his turn to speak, he paused, searching for words. He admitted that in all his years judging talent, moments like this were rare. He said the performance reminded him why shows like this exist, not just to entertain, but to reveal the soul of humanity. His voice cracked slightly as he finished, and the audience reacted with even louder applause. Another judge spoke about how the music felt like a prayer. Another said it was the most honest piano performance they had ever heard. The veteran listened quietly, hands clasped together, head bowed in gratitude. Then something unexpected happened. One of the judges reached for the golden buzzer. The crowd gasped. The veteran looked confused, unsure of what was happening. The judge smiled at him and said that this performance deserved more than words. It deserved a moment that would change his life forever. The golden buzzer was pressed. Golden confetti exploded from above, raining down on the stage. The audience erupted into screams and cheers. The veteran froze, eyes wide, unable to believe what he was seeing. Confetti landed on his shoulders, his hair, his hands. He reached out, touching the golden pieces as if to make sure they were real. Overwhelmed, he dropped to his knees, covering his face as he cried. The judges rushed to the stage, helping him up, hugging him warmly. The host announced that he was going straight to the live shows. The crowd chanted his name. People waved flags. Some held signs honoring veterans. It was no longer just a talent. Clips of the audition spread rapidly online. Within hours, millions had watched and shared the video. Comments poured in from around the world. People called it the most emotional audition of the year. Veterans thanked him for representing their struggles. Musicians praised his sincerity and depth. For Simon, the moment became one of his most talked about reactions ever. Fans were stunned to see him so openly moved. Many said if this performance could make Simon cry, it truly meant something special. As the veteran prepared for the next round, his life began to change. Donations flooded in to support veterans' causes. Music schools reached out, offering him access to proper instruments and training spaces. But despite everything, he remained humble, returning each night to practice, saying music still grounded him. This story is not just about winning a golden buzzer. It is about being seen after years of being invisible. It is about how talent has no age, no social class, and no limits. It is about how a simple piano, played with honesty, can move even the toughest hearts. If this story touched you, remember that behind every face is a story we may never know. Sometimes all it takes is one moment, one melody, to change everything. Thank you for watching, and never forget to believe in the power of dreams, no matter how late they arrive.